All right, guys, welcome to our happy hour. We're so incredibly excited to have you here. Brittany's going to kick it off.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Emily said, we're so excited to have you guys here. Before we started recording, we were just chatting with some of the girls that were on and saying how excited we get to share this. Like, all of our friends are now coaches or brought to us through the coaching opportunity. We're going to share a little bit about our stories, so you can kind of see how this fell into both of our laps. And it wasn't something that, we like 2 years ago for me or 6 years ago for Emilie that we could have predicted being part of our life path. And now we can't even imagine living without it. So first, I wanted to kind of talk about who we are. So we are Beachbody coaches. Beachbody is a company that they just celebrated their 20th anniversary. So incredible. And it actually didn't start out as a network marketing company. 20 years ago, it was founded, and it was a way to bring fitness to people, and a healthy lifestyle in general. It was a way for people to work out from home wherever they were comfortable. A while back, I guess it wasn't too long ago, but it was primarily on DVDs. A lot of people have DVDs on their shelves hanging out. I know I do. And like I said, it was just a way for people to bring fitness home, make it more accessible to people. And then from there, they could see the ripple effect that it was having by people sharing this opportunity with others. So the founders sat back and they thought, what can we do to turn this into not something that just benefits people's health, but it can give them another way to expand their financial aspect of their life, to create another career, or even if it's just a little bit of extra money a month. So they came up with the coaching opportunity. And that's where we come in. So we'll talk a little bit more later on about what we actually do as coaches. But the gist of it is that we, make our money. It's all in the name of changing lives, by sharing this, both the health, side of it with the workouts and the nutrition and the accountability groups, but also with the coaching opportunity, because you just never know where it's going to take you. So let me stop sharing my screen here. Let's see here. There we go, pin my video. Awesome, perfect. So my name's Brittany, and I have been a coach for just over a year. My story starts a little bit back. So we're going to rewind in time, back to when I was about 12 years old. I didn't really know it then or come to terms with it then, but that is when I really started to see symptoms and struggles of both, binge eating disorder and depression. It was something that I kind of let rule my world and dictate my actions and my life path and all of that. Throughout high school. High school is hard enough anyway. In middle school too, I was seeing sudden weight gain. I didn't know what to do. My parents were doing diets because they were overweight at the time. And so I was like in middle school doing diets with them. But I wasn't ever really like addressing the mental side of it. So nothing was ever really going to get better. So that was when I was about 12 or so years old. We actually lived in the Midwest. We moved to Kentucky. And I feel like, life changes can kind of perpetuate really negative behaviors as well. So it only got worse when we moved, which wasn't anybody's fault. It's just, my way of coping. And then I was also diagnosed with PCOS, hypothyroidism, and insulin resistance when that was at the very end of 9th grade. So I was pretty young. A lot of people are, familiar now-ish with PCOS. It's actually pretty common. But for those of you that don't know, it's polycystic ovarian syndrome, in layman's terms, it makes it really easy to gain weight and really difficult to lose it. So on top of the negative behaviors that I already had, the vicious cycle of depression and binge eating disorder, now my body was actually fighting against me, which just made everything harder. So, it continued throughout high school. I was super depressed. I was suicidal at a certain point. Just really in my low lows. I have always had a passion for taking care of others and serving others. So I knew from a really young age that I wanted to find a way to give back. And I always wanted to be a nurse. My dad had worked at a hospital when I was young. My mom had been a nurse administrator when I was young. I knew that that's what I wanted to do, and that's how I was going to give back. So I finished up high school. I got accepted into a really incredible nursing program at University of Louisville, and I moved, and it was like my world fell absolutely apart. I was alone. Nobody was watching me. I mean, because at that point, my parents kind of knew that like something was going on, because I like kept getting bigger and like food would go missing and stuff like that. And they tried to help me the best that they could, but without me willing to know, that I needed help myself, it was really difficult for them. But I didn't have anybody watching over my shoulder, so things just went worse. I think over the course of the 2 semesters that I was down there, I gained about 60 pounds. And I was holed up in my room all the time. I was skipping class. I decided to transfer up to University of Kentucky, which is in Lexington, where I live now. My transfer process kind of got messed up. I fell into full-time business, work where I do now. And I have worked at the gym that I currently work at for almost 12 years. So, the nature of that is pretty crazy hours. We work with kids, which means that all of our hours are primarily working after school. So most of the times my day doesn't really start going until 2 in the afternoon, but I can be there until 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night. So I never really know what the next day is going to bring. It can be crazy. It can be amazing. It can be stressful. And I love what I do, but it can make things pretty tricky sometimes, which was one thing I really was worried about when I stepped into coaching. But I moved back to Lexington. I started seeing a personal trainer again that I had seen when I was in high school, because I really thought I had my life under control. And I was going to, get back on the horse. I was spending like $500 to $600 a month seeing him twice a week. But again, I wasn't addressing the mental aspect of it. So I kept, falling back into old habits, falling into that vicious cycle, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. So, let's see, fast forward to, this is the end of 2016 now. I was starting to recognize that I really did need help with my depression. And there were some things that I needed to do to take care of myself. I had a long-term best friend. We have been friends since high school. So like over 7 years at this point. Our friends all ran in the same circle. And she had asked me to be in her wedding. And I was like, okay, of course I said yes at first. It's my best friend. But as it kind of went, like we were talking less, and I decided that it would be the best for me to stop stressing out about standing up in front of everybody in a dress. I know that can sound like really vain. But for me, it was really important for me to just sit there and watch them get married and not have the whole day just consumed in negative thoughts. So she hadn't answered my calls, and I just ended up having to text her, and I was like, hey, I'm so sorry to do this. I can't wait to watch you and Andrew get married, yada, yada. I just can't stand up there. She never, to this day, has said another word to me. I found out that she got my text through our other friends, who subsequently completely dropped me. And I went from having this circle of friends to literally having nobody, which made things a hell of a lot worse. It pretty much convinced me that addressing my problems was only going to bring negative into my life. And so it really pushed me back. I mean, I've never felt so unsure of taking care of myself and what was actually best for me than in that moment. February 2017 was probably the lowest point of my life. I know it seemed like kind of doom and gloom. I do have a really nice family, but up until that point, let's see, February 2017, I decided to take advantage of this Planet Fitness special. They had it like $1 down, $10 a month, whatever. I got this secret gym membership, and I was going to turn my life around because I was super suicidal at that point, and I knew that something had to change. Got membership, showed up at the gym for the first day, super nervous, like paralyzed with fear in the parking lot. Just get inside the gym. So I go inside the gym, and you always think that there's like those wandering eyes that are, you know, staring at you or judging you or whatever. But I'm like, it's Planet Fitness. It's the no judgment zone. So I go upstairs and I find the furthest treadmill from any human heartbeat because I always loved working out. I wasn't like, again, like I've said before, I wasn't addressing the mental stuff. I was always just going to outwork everything else that I did. All the nutrition doesn't work that way. So I find the furthest treadmill from any human in the gym, and I start going, and then I hear these guys behind me kind of laughing, and I was like, oh my God, they're laughing at me. Like, no, they're not. Brittany, like, you need to chill. You just need to get your workout in and go home. But then they started to moo at me like a cat. And I knew that they were referencing me at that point. So I instantly started crying. I haul-assed out of the gym, and I was pretty much convinced that like my oxygen and the space that I take up was just a complete waste in this world. I have never had such a low opinion of myself. So what I did find though was a girl on Facebook, and she would share these like Friday faves, these like beauty tips and stuff like that. And I'm super into beauty. And so I loved her energy that she had. So I would show up every single Friday for these Facebook Lives. I'm ready to see, you know, what money I need to spend at Ulta and Sephora. But like I said, she just had this zest for life that made me want to stay around. You know, I didn't think that that was ever something that I was capable of, but it was really cool that she had it. Things started to get better. I eventually ended up talking to my mom. She's so supportive. I could cry talking about her. She's my number one cheerleader, always has been. And I'm very fortunate to have her. But I told her about my binge eating disorder. I told her about my depression, and she got me the help I needed. That was in May 2017. August 2017, I was officially 1 year out from my sister and my now brother-in-law getting married, and they are my people. Like, they are my people so hard. They are my best friends. Couldn't do anything without them. And I could not think about anything on their wedding day besides, I don't want to hate their wedding pictures. Like, I don't want to resent the way that I look so much. So I broke down to my mom talking about it, and she said, well, what about that girl on Facebook? Like, you watch her beauty videos, and I know she works out at home, and if you work out at home, you don't have to worry about stuff that happens at the gym. I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. I'll try it. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so at least when this doesn't work, then I'll get my money back. I actually didn't have the money to pay for it. Borrowed it from my mom, promised to pay her back. I was broke as a joke. And I lost 14 pounds and 14 inches in the first 3-week program that I did. And that's like incredible results for anybody. But for somebody with PCOS, that's like unheard of. And it's something I knew that I needed to share with the world. I ended up starting to do the programs pretty regularly. I was kind of like off and on with it though, still struggling with the eating disorder and all of that. January 2018, I decided to go all in, see what happens when I don't quit on myself for once. And that was really the end of it. I reached the end of that 3-month program. I had never felt better in my life. I felt called to serve in a new way by sharing this incredible, health solution with other people. I was super nervous because, like I said before, I don't really have the time. I work crazy hours. I never know what the next day is going to look like. I don't have a set schedule. Some days I'm in at 7:30 in the morning. Some days I'm in until 10 o'clock at night. Sometimes that's the same day. I just never know. So I was super worried about time. And I was most worried about still being like 350 pounds at that point and calling myself a wellness coach. I just thought it was pretty laughable at that point. But, I reached out to my coach, and she kindly reminded me that the only thing holding me back was me. That before and afters are great, but it's the journey that's magical and inspirational to people. And that the worst thing that could happen was that I get in the best shape of my life. And, if that's all that comes from it, at least I'm in the best shape of my life. So I leaned in, I decided to start coaching. I decided as soon as I announced that I was going to be a coach, that I was going to go, give it what it takes, and treat it truly like a business. And the rest is history. I mean, it has completely changed my life. I now have a supplemental income when I was initially aiming to just cover my products. And it's incredible. And it's brought me my, most precious people in my life, like Emilie. So that's kind of my story.
I love you so much. I never get tired of hearing your story. It is so freaking inspiring and incredible. And like just the fact, like we were talking earlier before we started recording, you are one of my favorite people ever. And it is like, I'm so grateful to coaching because it gave you this life and it gave me this life. And then it brought us together, and it's so remarkable. So
I know. I can't even imagine what life would be like without it.
Yes. Totally agree. Thank you so much. So I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my story with y'all. I am setting a timer because I can get wordy, especially when I get fired up, and I got to keep myself on track. But hi guys, my name is Emilie Moreck. I live in Eugene, Oregon. I am a mama of 2 little boys, Raphael and Matan. They are now 7 and 4, which blows my mind. I am married, and I live in the same town I have since I was born. Sorry, that's my husband. I found coaching after my first son was born. So backtrack to 2012, I was blessed with Raphael as my firstborn. I gained 45 pounds in that pregnancy. And prior to being pregnant, I grew up playing tennis. I grew up running. I was always really active. In that pregnancy though, I barely worked out at all. I actually only worked out in my very last month of pregnancy, which is probably not the smartest, but I was working a desk job that entire pregnancy and was super sick. And so I just felt awful. I felt so terrible the whole pregnancy. And when Raphael was born, I was like, okay, I guess it's time to get back to the gym. I had no idea how to make that happen though, because my husband is in the car biz, works crazy hours. Did not have childcare. My mom lived on the other side of town. And I was just like, I don't know how this is going to happen, because I didn't want to put him in childcare at the gym either, like my little newborn. And so I started getting up at 4:30 or 5 in the morning to go work out every single day for an hour to 2 hours. That was the only time that it worked for our schedules. We had 1 car, so I would book it to the gym, even with only sleeping many times a couple hours after being up all night nursing my son, and would come back just in time to trade off, and my husband that would then go to work all day long. And I did that until Rafi was over a year old, and I realized I still had 0 core strength. I still had no energy. I was super frustrated with my nutrition because I felt like like I was eating so clean and boring. And then it would only make me want to binge in the evenings. I had this really unhealthy relationship, I would say, with food, and I didn't realize it. And also an unhealthy relationship with exercise, because I really thought that if I just worked out more and harder, I would get results. And then I would get frustrated that I wasn't seeing results. And so it was like this vicious cycle. And I was so frustrated. I still had this weight that would not budge, no matter what I did, no matter how hard I worked. I was working out 6 days a week, and it just didn't add up to me. But around like the beginning of 2013, I found this girl on social media, started following her, didn't know her from Adam, total stranger. And I never followed people really like fitnessy accounts on social media, because I felt like all of like the fitness type accounts told me that in order to be fit, I had to have 6-pack abs, and to have that, I could only eat broccoli and chicken, and I could never have a cookie, and I could never have a margarita or wine, or like enjoy date night, or just live life. And I just could not get down with that. That was such like a box, even more than I felt like I had already put myself in. But this girl, who is now my coach, who I love dearly, she was different, and she really promoted this like very healthy approach to living and fitness and nutrition. And, you know, she would be doing these workouts that were 30 minutes a day in her living room, not having to commute to the gym, and still enjoying the weekends, and still having a cocktail here and there, and still enjoying a cookie. And I was like, and she was like so full of life. And I was like, what does she have that I don't? I need this. Whatever it is, I need this. Because I could see that she enjoyed health and fitness, and it wasn't like this rules and regulations and all these things. And she was also very fit. And so me, though, being very skeptical, very shy, very much an introvert, and also totally in denial that I even needed help, I just followed her forever. I was very much a silent watcher. I never liked anything, never commented on anything, but you better believe I went to her account every single day, because I was like, I know that there's something here. And it took me 8 months to even reach out. So the fact that anyone is here right now watching this, sorry, I'm like, going to adjust my light a little bit. The fact that you guys are here right now shows so much bravery, because there's no way I would have gotten on a call like this, like never in a million years. And so it took me 8 months to reach out to her, and I finally did. And yes, my only regret as well, Brittany, is not signing up sooner. But I finally did. And I got my first program, started my first program, and I was so scared. It was 25 minutes, 5 days a week. And she talked about the superfood shake that was like changing her life. And I was like, okay, fine, give me the shake too. Like, I was in denial that I needed it, because I had tried other shakes, and I'm like, I don't think, like, I'm not a shake person. I like to eat my food. I don't need that, blah, blah, blah. But I'll try it, because I'm literally on my last, like, like it was the last straw. So I started, I trusted the process, even though I didn't want to. And 4 days into drinking Shakeology, I remember where I was in the kitchen, and I looked at my husband, and I was like, I feel like a new mommy. Like, I genuinely feel happier. I genuinely have more energy. I was like, I don't know what is going on, but I feel better. And 2 weeks into that first program, I quit my gym membership. I'm like, I'm never going back, because I already had strength in my core and in my arms and in my legs that the gym was not giving me. No matter how many classes I took or how many times I pedaled on that elliptical, Lord help me, I was seeing results that I had not seen at the gym. And I also like was a part of this online virtual boot camp community that every single day I got in a workout, they'd be like, way to go. And I'm like, no one tells me that at the gym. No one says great job. And so I was hooked. I was like, okay, I have found this, and I'm going to keep going. And so I finished that program, and I got amazing results, and I was like, I'm going to do it again. And meanwhile, I had like been stalking my coach, and I didn't even realize that I could be a coach too. And in that time that I was feeling so great, I had like referred my dad to her, my mom to her, my sister to her, like all these people. I'm like, you need to go see her, because she can help you. And then like come to find out, I could have actually been helping them and also helping my family and like earning an income. So the flip side, like the other backstory of this is not only before coaching was I frustrated with my health and fitness, we were massively in debt. Hospital debt from having a baby is no joke. After Rafi was born, my husband had an injury, and like those bills were crazy. Like we were in so much debt. So, like it was just so stressful all the time. I hated to go grocery shopping because I was worried that I wasn't going to have enough on my card to pay for the groceries, and I was going to have to put things back. I was stressed every single day. I just remember sitting home with my son because I had quit my full-time job, and we had cut everything down so that I could stay home with him. But we were just barely getting by, and it was so stressful. We fought all the time about finances. And I just was like, I don't know how, like I have to help my family, but I don't know what to do, because we both agreed. We wanted me to stay home. We didn't want to put him in daycare. I didn't want me to go back to my previous job, but what are you going to do? You know, my husband's working his heart out, and I just wanted to be able to help our family. So when I found out that there was something called coaching that I could do too, and it was with something that I was obsessed with and wanted everyone to feel that way, I was like, well, yeah, duh, like sign me up, let's go, you know, because for me, it was like, okay, I could get a discount on the products. Awesome. But also if I could help someone else feel this amazing, and I could help my family, even with like $20 at that point, would be life-changing. And so even though it took me 8 months, I signed up, and I was so scared. I was so terrified. Because I never posted on social media. I had no social media following. I didn't even have Instagram. Didn't even know what that was. I didn't even know if it existed. I had like 100 friends on Facebook, but I knew that I was passionate about this. And so I really just started sharing that passion. And, I told, like, my very first goal was just to get the cost of my superfood shake, Shakeology, covered every single month, because my husband was super supportive of me doing this, but he looked at me straight in the face and was like, not girlfriend. He doesn't call me girlfriend. I call every other lady girlfriend. And he's like, honey, I love you so much. I have to remember who I'm talking to. I love you so much, and I'm so excited for you to do this, but we can't afford Shakeology every month. And I was like, don't even worry, I've got this. Because my coach told me, if you help 3 people a month, you will get your Shakeology, the cost of your products covered. And I was like, well, duh, like I want to help all the people because I want everyone to feel this way. And so with like, that was my first goal, was just to get that covered. And with my first full month of coaching, I was able to do that, and also able to help some of my friends feel amazing and get incredible results. And from there, it just started to snowball. I was just so excited because I was feeling better. I had more energy. It was something I could do at home. I didn't have to go to the gym. I was getting it done in 25 minutes versus 2 hours. It was just so incredible. And so the beginning of, I signed up in September of 2013. In the beginning of 2014, I was like, okay, I'm going all in. I'm running with this. And then we found out we were pregnant with baby number 2. And I was like crushed because I thought that I could not be a successful coach anymore. I remember going to my coach and I was like, I don't know what to do because I'm sick. Once again, I'm super ill. And who's going to be inspired by me as I'm gaining weight through my pregnancy. And most people want to lose weight, or, you know, like I just felt like I had this huge limiting belief that I would not be inspiring. And so she just, you know, lovingly suggested, just show up. Just be honest, just be authentic, you know, like just share your journey, because people are actually going to be inspired by that. People don't want perfection. They want real. So just show up and share where you're at. And that's what I did. And the best thing happened in that I was able to continually grow my business every single month of my pregnancy and help other women get results. But it also helped me have the most healthy pregnancy. I felt so much different in that pregnancy using these programs all the way up until 41 weeks. And I felt so much better through delivery and everything. And it was just such a blessing to have a tool that helped me feel better, be healthier. My son was so healthy. It helped, like Shakeology helped my milk supply. It was all the things. And I had this incredibly amazing supportive community, which ended up being such a godsend, because after my second son was born, there was just like this series of events in my life that it was the hardest year and a half of my life ever. my son had a procedure go wrong. I lost my last living grandparent who was very close to, and my uncle, all within a week of each other. My husband ended up in the ER twice, having 3 different surgeries. My parents ended up announcing in the beginning of 2015 that they were going to get a divorce after over 30 years of marriage. And I was devastated because my family was everything. They had this like incredible marriage that I looked up to, and we had this super tight knit family, and I was just crushed. I felt like I didn't even know who I was. I didn't know, like nothing in my past made sense, present made sense. It was just, everything was pure chaos. And I'm struggling as a mama of a toddler and a newborn to just stay afloat. And coaching was the biggest gift to my life then, because it was this light. It was this light that I could lean into when everything else was pure chaos and like made no sense and was just hard and dramatic. I leaned into our team. We host team calls every single week that you get to be a part of when you're a part of our team. And I got on every single one just to hear the inspiration and the light and the positivity, because that was my only source at that point. It was the hardest year of my life, battling depression. I was suicidal at one point. Like it was heavy. And those aren't things you want to talk about, but that's real life. And, it was because I leaned into coaching and to my boot camps and our team, and also my own fitness journey. I didn't feel like working out, but I pushed play, and I literally fought for my life through those workouts and would cry and yell, but finish feeling better. And gradually, day by day, week by week, month by month, I started to find my smile again. I started to find me again. I started to rebuild what was broken. The light started to come back in. And crazy enough, even though everything in my life was pure chaos, my business continued to grow because it was heart, it was soul. It wasn't, it wasn't just a job. It was changing people's lives and changing my own life. And I just continued to go from there. And, being a coach for almost 6 years, there's been a lot of growth, like growing pains and ups and downs and everything. But, it's just like Brittany said in the comments, like her only regret is not signing up sooner. And that is 100%. Like I think about those 8 months I watched, I'm like, why didn't I start sooner? Because, like I'm so thankful though that I think everything happens for a reason. And I'm so thankful I started when I did. But it has changed everything from the community to my family. I'm a completely different wife, mom, sister, friend, everything because of coaching. We've been able to go on trips and build a home and just so many things that never would have happened if it weren't for coaching. And I just have to say, like, if you are here right now, there is no accident. And I do believe it is for a reason, just as it was for Brittany's and my own life. And I know that we could both probably go on and on forever, but I don't want to keep you all night long, and we want to get into the other, details of coaching. But it truly is the best thing ever, and I am so thankful for it. So that's all I got for you right now.
Oh my gosh. I love your story so much. Oh, I just think that you're so inspiring. Like
right back at
I
you.
said it in the chat, I think because you leaned in, like, I just think it's like such a beautiful thing to lean in when it's so much easier to like fall back into the shadows. Like, I don't think there's quite anything like the, bravery and the strength that you had there. So I'm just really proud of you.
Thank you.
All right. What are we going to talk about next?
Should we dive into the rest? Do we want to talk about a day, like what you actually do as a coach, what a day in the life looks like?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Do you want to go first?
You go.
Okay. All right. I'll go first. So I am, like I said before, let me pin my video real quick. Let's see. There we go. I still work full time, 12 years in August. So, that's kind of crazy to say too. But my hours are super unpredictable. Like I said, I can be there as early as 7:30, there as late as 10. Sometimes it's all on the same day, which isn't optimal. But that is one thing. Like when I said that I made my coach announcement and I told myself, I'm like, Brittany, if you are going to do this as a business, you need to take this seriously. So I decided to figure it out and make it work. And I decided that for me, because through, getting through like the depression and all of that, I learned that I really needed to protect my peace and I really needed to respect my quality time. For me, like my love language is quality time, especially with my family. Like there's nothing like it. I will put anything else behind it. It's just how I function day to day. So I knew that if I was going to make this work, that I would have to move some things around. For me, I work about an hour a day in little pockets of time. And, that can vary. Some days it's 15 minutes and sometimes it's 3 hours when I just get like buried and super passionate about talking with people, because I love getting to hear other people's stories too. So, the beauty of this business is that it gets to go wherever you go. Like any place that I'm sitting, I can set up my office. Anywhere that I can bring my computer or that I have Wi-Fi or that I have a cell phone connection, not only can I bring the programs that make me so happy and healthy, I can also do my job. Anywhere that social media is at, anywhere that there are people that I can talk to, I can work. I can work at the grocery store. I can work at Starbucks. I can work in my office. I can work absolutely anywhere. And that is the most beautiful thing to me. So for me, yeah, like I said, I work in the power pockets. That's kind of how I do everything. Most of my work is from my phone. And honestly, I've heard people, and I did want to touch on this a little bit, a lot of the work that I do is from my phone. However, at first I was like, well, I don't just want to be on my phone all the time. I don't want to be on social media all the time. No. Me either. I don't have time for that. One, I had to come to Jesus with myself about how much time I was spending in front of that TV or watching Grey's Anatomy or The Office or Friends that I had no problem with. And I decided to swap some of that time for something that could actually grow me and help other people. So I had to come to Jesus with myself. I also, now on Instagram, there's ways to set like timers for how long you've been on an app during the day. I set up those timers. I have a max of 90 minutes per day on my social media, which means I am now super intentional with everything that I'm doing. And unless I'm going to acknowledge like that snooze button and that I'm going overtime on how much time I've dedicated like to my phone that day, like I've got to be real with myself and get some work done. So anything's possible. Even just an hour a day, you could be super successful. I matched my first paycheck, or I matched my full-time job's paycheck for the first time 3 weeks after I started coaching, which is bananas. So I'm going to pass it over to Em.
I feel like that's a mic drop right there. So yeah, as far as like what we actually do as coaches in a day in the life, same as Brittany, I really started like my business with just working like an hour a day, and it was in pockets of time because at the time I was a mom of one, then that changed to being pregnant and like barely even being able to get off the couch. And so like through all the different things of life, that is the best thing, is that we do have a list that we will, when you join our team, one of the best parts about joining our team is that we are a part of the #1 team in the entire company, which means the support, the training, the free like information and training and like whatever your goals are, we have the roadmap to help you get there. And that is so incredible because when I started, we didn't have any of that. We were not the #1 team and part of the #1 team in the company then. We were all brand new and just figuring it out. And so now like it is such an exciting time to be a part of this team because we show you exactly what to do. give you like your checklist, get this done each day. If it takes you an hour, awesome. If you want to, you know, spend more time, amazing, and grow your business faster, because you're always going to get out of it what you put into it. And, you know, with consistency and focus and everything. But I really started with like an hour to 2 hours max a day. And now that, you know, my kids sometimes are both in school on like the same days, there are times where I'm working more like 3 hours or 4 hours if I'm really in a groove. But there's also days where I work 20 minutes or not at all. So it just depends. And the best part about it is you don't have a boss. There is no boss. There's no one telling you, you have to do this today. You are the CEO of your own business. And so you get to structure things how you want to. Obviously, if you want things to grow, you have to do the work. But again, we have it set up to where you can absolutely rock it in an hour a day in pockets of time. So do you want me to just go ahead and chat about how you actually earn money? Okay. So we'll go ahead and just talk about all things money, both how you earn and then how you get started. And guys, I didn't even say this earlier. I don't know if Brittany did, but if you have any questions as we're talking, feel free to put it in the chat and we'll answer that as we go or at the end. But how you earn money, like I said, it's always going to be a direct reflection of the lives that you are changing. One of my biggest hesitations before I started coaching is I was so afraid that it was going to be selling things because I hate sales. I've had sales jobs in the past. I cried. I quit. They were the worst. And I was like, no, truly, there was one job I got at the mall when I don't know how old I was. I worked for 2 hours and I quit. I was like, that is the worst. I'm never going back. It was so bad. And I just didn't want to feel like a salesman. I'm like, I don't want to do that. And I'm terrible at it. Like, there's no way. And that's just not what coaching is. Your number one job as a coach is to be on your own journey. It's not to look a certain way, be a certain way. It's simply to be on your own journey. So if your journey starts Monday, day one, awesome. You're on your journey and you can be a coach. So your number one job is always going to take care of you first. And then it's just going to be sharing that authentically and inviting other people to come with you. And your paycheck will always be a reflection of those people that you are helping get started on their journey, and you're just doing it together. So, you know, like when you first get started, your paycheck, we get paid every Thursday, which is amazing. I've never been paid weekly before, but you get paid every single Thursday. And your first paycheck is probably going to be from commission. So we make 25% commission on everything. You also get a 25% discount on everything. And then as you continue to grow your team, your business, you're going to start earning something called team cycle bonus. And that starts once you achieve your first rank in the company, which is Emerald. And it's just you and 2 other people. And it is really amazing because you are now helping, like you're all doing this together. You build your own little tribe. And Beachbody also gives you free customers just for achieving that goal. So there is like, no matter, like when you go to the Beachbody website, anyone that purchases anything from there is connected with a coach, whether they know it or not. And I just think that that is something that really sets Beachbody apart, is that they are so concerned that people have support, that people have people in their corner cheering them on, being there to help them, being there to support them. And that is what we get to do as coaches. So you start getting those free customers and earning Team Cycle. And, you know, Team Cycle, as once you hit the diamond rank in the company, it's, you know, it's $18 a cycle, which doesn't sound like a lot, but then you go 10 cycles or more, that adds up. Like my Team Cycle bonus is more now than the rest of my income. And the other cool thing about that is showing that my team is having success. You don't get paid without other people having success in their business and on their health journey. So it truly is people helping people. You're all in it together. The other amazing thing about coaching is that it is not set up like a typical job. Like if, you know, for me, when I used to work outside the home, it was very much, there would be me, the manager, the boss, the CEO, the owner, blah, blah, blah. And most likely you're never going to surpass that CEO's, what's the word I'm looking for? Commission or paycheck. Thank you. But with coaching, you absolutely can. You can out earn what I earn. You can out earn what our upline, number one coach in the company, earns. Yes, it's going to take hard work and consistency and, you know, showing up over time. It's not going to happen in a day, but that is the best part about it, is that like freedom to dream bigger and make things your own and go, okay, I want to save for a house. Cool. You totally can. You got to put in the work, but it's absolutely doable. You know, as coaches, we help at least 3 people every single month, and that's, you know, you'll get all of your products more than paid for. You'll also start earning extra income on top of that. With helping 3 people a month, that's also how you earn our luxury earned vacations that called Success Club trips that our company gifts us with every year. There is just so many ways that we are rewarded for helping people, and that is literally just like skimming the surface, but I don't want to overwhelm with information. So hopefully that helps give you an idea. And if you do have more questions, you can go ahead and pop that in the chat. But I don't know, is there anything else you wanted to add to that, Brittany?
No, I think that pretty much covered it. I mean, I was the same kind of thing with Emilie, as I was really concerned before I actually cared to learn more, which is why we're so happy that you guys are here, was that I was going to be stuck selling stuff to people. I have done another network marketing company where I was selling makeup to people, and I mean, the product was good and I used it, and I still use it now, but I just couldn't push makeup on people like it was going to change their Tuesday, like it was going to change their life, like it was going to, like, and you know, there's other people that are successful, and there is obviously wasn't the path for me. It just didn't feel like hard work for me. And coaching is really hard work for me, but it's also work from the heart, which makes it so much easier to do. And the only thing that I'm doing besides making myself healthier is that I get to change other people's lives. Like how do I say this without crying? The thing about coaching and the power that we have in the ripple effect of what we do is that it is so much bigger than us. People getting off of, you know, heart medication or blood pressure medication, people getting control of diabetes, people, you know, starting to take their health more seriously, which leads them to start going to see like doctors and taking care of themselves, which makes them better for their family and their friends, and they are alive longer. Like, that is some really big, powerful stuff to sit on. And so anytime that I'm ever like, you know, like, oh, you know, like things have been better or whatever, I could, you know, let my mind trick myself into thinking is like, it's just, this is so much bigger than just working out from home. It is actually changing, saving, preventing, doing whatever, and affecting people's livelihood.
Sorry, yeah, total mic drop. Sorry, I just realized I was muted. I was like, dang it. Mic drop. We can just end the call right there. Gosh, I love it. Yes. So good. So good. So, I'll go ahead and cover really quick how you actually enroll, how to get started. Yes?
Yeah. Again, ladies, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. If not, then we'll just like hop off once we tell you how you can sign up, but we'd love to answer any questions that you might have. I know I had a million.
Yes. So how you get started. So basically how you enroll this is how I got started, how Brittany got started. It is with something called a challenge pack. And if you've already purchased a challenge pack, then you're basically going to ignore this and then just talk to the coach that that is your coach, or that, you know, you got started with, and she'll share with you how to enroll. But otherwise, you're going to get started with a challenge pack. And a challenge pack it includes everything you need for your own journey. So it is going to come, there are a couple different options. I'm just going to talk about two of the main options that are the most popular packs. But we have one package that it is $160, and there is normally a $40 fee to get started as a coach, just to get started. And when you enroll with your whatever challenge pack you choose, it completely waives that fee. And so all you're paying for is your goodies to get started. So $160, that comes with your 30 servings of your superfood shake that will absolutely freaking change your life. You guys, I have not been to the doctor for antibiotics in almost 6 years since I started drinking Shakeology. There's no coincidence on that, because I used to be at the doctor all the freaking time. You can see my records. But $160 gives you your 30 servings of Shakeology. It comes with all of your workouts digitally for an entire year. So right now that's over 1,000 workouts, all of the brand new programs. So like Lift 4, 80-day obsession, Transform 20, 21-day fix, 21-day fix extreme, like literally all of the programs that I've been doing over the last 6 years, that Brittany's been doing, that we're obsessed with. You'll get all of those so that you can start a program and then you already have a plan in place to just keep going. It comes with all the nutritional guides, meal plans, everything that lays it all out for you. It comes with an e-cookbook. So like it has all of the recipes on there, both video and just like, you know, readable text, I guess. So it has both ways though, that helps. Like if you are like me and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to follow a recipe, there is a cooking show on there that walks you through how to make your healthy meals for not just, yeah, totally. Thank you. Not just for you, but for your whole family too. So if you have kiddos that you're cooking for, or you want to bring your spouse into this or whatever, it like has meals for breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, snacks, all the things. This also gives you a shaker cup, access, of course, to our virtual boot camps now and forever. Us as your coaches on this journey with you now and forever. And last but not least, all of the free training that comes with being a part of our teams. We help you get started right away, both with one-on-one calls, helps you hit the ground running. You get added into our team pages so that you have access to our weekly calls every single week that is full of training, inspiration, motivation. Like it's the best sisterhood ever. And we have so many calls now that you have access to. They're always recorded. So if you can't hop on live, it's totally cool. We have like team retreats and just like so many things that come with that. And I love that Brittany mentioned this earlier, but like at the very least, and this is something I thought about too before I got started coaching. At the very least, it's going to change your health and fitness, and you're going to get a great discount. You know, because for me, I was on the fence for so long, and was just like, it came down to this moment of like, I have to at least try, because otherwise I'm always going to wonder what if, and that would drive me insane. Wondering what if I had just gone all in and give it my 100% and just tried. And I'm so glad that I did, just like Brittany, because now we found something that helps us feel good and be healthy and be fit and have this incredible community and build an income that has allowed us to dream bigger and do things that we were never able to do before. And we just want you to get to be a part of that and welcome you into our team and welcome you into our sisterhood. And I just realized I never went over the other challenge pack option, but the other challenge pack option is $220. And that comes with everything I just mentioned, but it also comes with your Shakeology and your performance pack, which is Recover and Energize. Energize, you probably see both of us drinking it every single day because it's life. But that comes with all of that. So If you have any questions, you can for sure put them in the comments. Otherwise, just reach out to Brittany or I or the coach that invited you to this webinar. And we just want to say thank you so incredibly much for being here, for taking time out of your evening or your day, if you're watching the recording. You guys are the best ever.
Yes, thank you so much. It means the world that we get to share this with you guys. So thank you for lending us your ear. We can't wait to work with you guys. And we know that anybody that decides to take the leap will be a rock star. And you're already a rock star for showing up to this. So we can't wait to work with you.
Amen. Y'all are the best. And we will see you soon, hopefully.
Yes.
Okay. Bye.